Berlin, 1945. Berlin, 1914. There are no ruins yet. In a fervor of nationalism, the troops marched to war, colors streaming and bands playing. Dazzling pomp surrounds the Kaiser. Legends arise about generals such as Hindenburg and Ludendorff, who stem the Russian advances in the east and finally take over command of the whole German army. General von Epp finances extreme nationalist elements from secret army funds. His adjutant, Captain Röhm, hires spies to report on the activities of these elements. One of these spies becomes member number 7 of the new National Socialist Party, on which he is to report. With the help of Röhm's money, he even becomes leader of the party. In 1920, he is the party spokesman at meetings protesting against the peace treaties with the Allies and Russia. This Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889, in the small Austrian town of Braunau, the son of the 50-year-old customs official Alois Hitler and his 28-year-old third wife, Clara. When Adolf is 8 years of age, the family moves to a small house in Leonding, near Linz. Here, father and son disagree. Alois Hitler wishes the boy to become an official. Adolf wants to be an artist. He defies his father. He is a poor sort of pupil, and fails in his exams both in Linz and in Steyr. At the age of 16, he falls ill with tuberculosis and leaves school forever. In 1907, he moves to Vienna, seeks admittance to the Academy of Art, but is not accepted. He shares a furnished room with a friend. Turned away from the Academy of Art a second time, he becomes a part-time laborer and hawker of postcards painted by himself. He lands in a flop house, but considers himself superior to the other tramps. For a few coppers, he buys his first anti-Semitic pamphlets. These are part of the Ostara library for the blonde defenders of the rights of man. In order to obtain certain numbers no longer in circulation, Hitler looks up Ostara's publisher, Jörg Lanz von Liebenfels, who in 1900 founded an order for blonde, blue-eyed men. According to Lanz, the blonde Superman sits differently from and has different toes from the dark and inferior races whose extermination he demands. He depicts world history as a life and death struggle between the blonde and the dark. The swastika is his sign, and for him, the Jew is the devil himself. These pipe dreams are a revelation to the unemployed, starving hermit in the flophouse. Hitler must believe in the difference between people and races so that he can count himself among the master race. His due for military service, he has left Austria and settled in Munich. After a short exchange of fire, 16 Hitlerites and 3 policemen lie dead or dying. Hitler escapes and is arrested 2 days later. During the subsequent legal proceedings, Ludendorff is acquitted, and Hitler is imprisoned for a few months in the fortress at Landsberg, where he is given a roomy cell on the first floor with good food and the privilege of wearing his own clothes. Full of contempt for an opponent who punishes high treason so leniently, he dictates his book Mein Kampf, an autobiography which turns into a political platform, to his faithful friend, Rudolf Hess. Here, Hitler describes the reuniting of Germany and Austria as his life's mission. He exclaims that either Germany shall become a world power or be ruined. The book was read by few and made a joke of by many. A few years later, they no longer laughed.